some of the tools that I actually use in my business and my clients use. So in the next hour and a half, we're going to look at some of those tools, but also interspersed, I'll be asking you some questions because I'd really like some feedback. It's great to have a big room of people. I can ask you questions as well about, you know, what sort of things you need or what tools you need or what help you need. Some of my clients just don't even want to go onto social media at all because, they, like Sean said, they don't think they're going to have the time. And it's an issue, but the problem is I think that the benefits outweigh the negatives, and so it's up to us to sort of become skilled and find the ways that we can steal more time from other areas of other work that we're doing and plan our lives, you know, so we really can take advantage of this, of the social technology. And it's not a case of just saying, yes, go onto all of the platforms. It's also about taking it strategically, working out what your business is and what the best platform for you might be. So instead of racing on to, you know, 2 or 3 of the platforms and thinking, oh, how can I cope with all of this? You could just choose one after you've got some advice and looked at the market and what your reason for going on there is. There may be some businesses where it will not be beneficial to spend a lot of time on there. So it's good to get some advice first, rather than just sort of jumping on, getting sort of concerned that you can't sort of keep up with it, or maybe not getting the most out of it because you haven't had help. So these learning sessions are really great, and you will always find when you come to some of these, there are people who are willing to help you at networking events. They're just really happy to share with the skills that they've picked up. So it's not about you know, cost and going to expensive courses or anything like that. You'll find people that will help you. I'm doing a flashback here to almost 2 years ago, October 2008, when I actually was doing a seminar and trying to persuade people to go onto Twitter then. I was speaking at a professional organisers conference, and I was trying to get them all excited about Twitter. Now, you can see, I think that I have there, on that day, I have 4 followers. I have 4 followers and I'm following 10 people. And I just thought I'd been on there for like a couple of days just to test it out. And I just thought, yeah, I thought this is fun, you know, it's interesting, but I had no idea where it was going to head. Now, having been on there for nearly 2 years, what I've learned is that it's not now about the number of followers that you have, and you go through phases where you think that it is and you want to build up your following. It's really about building community. And you might only have 30 or 40 people, but if those 30 or 40 people are hanging on to every word you say or asking you questions or developing a relationship with you, then that's worth a lot more than someone who's got 3,000 or 4,000 followers who's really just kind of flitting in and flitting out and not doing much with them. So it's just really interesting to see how much can change in a short amount of time. The amount of overwhelm that I find that even I suffer from, even with my skills and tools, is that sometimes people become so overwhelmed that it leads to paralysis and also inaction. So quite often you've got just too many emails to answer, too many to-do lists going on, and you might have a written to-do list, you might have a system that you're using on the computer, you've got, you know, countless people that you've got to contact and so much information to absorb. And sometimes you think by going onto social media, that's going to get worse. And it's true that it does get worse, but there's also, as I said, there's the benefit of it. So it's really worth learning how to control those aspects of your business so that you can, you know, really benefit from all of the new contacts and the information. And also, I mean, really it's going to lead to more communication, more relationships with people. I've made countless friends in the last couple of years of just amazing people that I wouldn't have met if it wasn't for Twitter and Facebook. So the areas that I focus on with my business, the 3 key areas and today is looking at time management. So that's looking at your day-to-day, managing your time and how you get things done. And quite often if we're working for ourselves, how many people are running their own businesses? It's hard sometimes to keep to a structured day, and sometimes the day will get lost. So if we end up sitting for 3 hours on Twitter or Facebook, you know, that's going to add to that problem. So I'm going to look at how we can get around that. I'm also looking at relationships, and in brackets I've got CRM there, so which is basically customer relationship management. That's just the kind of short code for that. And I was also going to look at the inbox, the infamous inbox, because the inbox seems to, you know, be the source of all evil in a way, and it makes us feel stressed. It's all about, if our inbox is full, there's all this stuff that we haven't, you know, attended to, and it can cause a lot of stress. And so for the tools that I look at and all the processes that I choose, what for them to be successful for me or for my clients, I look at them being simple and also being portable. So that means that they're adaptable to whatever mobile technology you're using. So be it your phone or your iPad or your, you know, your small or the web. That it means that you can travel around and log in and do whatever you want to do wherever you are, not be relying on being on your particular computer at your desk. I also look at the speed, like really it needs to save you time, so it needs to be quick to learn how to use. And also the other one, I actually haven't prioritised cost. I really like something to be free if possible. And there's so many great free tools out there that it's a shame to miss out on them. So first of all, looking at mastering time, I've got 2 clocks here and there's a reason for that. The reason we've got 2 clocks here is a man with 1 watch knows what time it is. A man with 2 watches is never quite sure. So that's because you can never get the times to match exactly. So what I find sometimes with people is if you're using 2 calendars or 2 diaries, you can get into trouble. And I think that what I try to encourage people is to use one system. To look at automating and batching tasks. So, you know, there's so many different systems that some of them we'll cover today where you can actually automate stuff so you're not physically manually doing stuff, and you'll be amazed at how quickly you can get some things done. And see, the other thing is to save stuff up into, you know, like so that you're doing all the similar stuff together, and that seems to work by doing stuff quickly as well. So by batching tasks, I mean, you know, grouping all your phone calls together or grouping answering emails or doing application forms, just doing all of the similar stuff together. I also would really request that you respect your inbox, and by that I mean don't subscribe to every single newsletter that takes your fancy. When you sign up to join a particular service online, most of the time there will be a little box that you don't see that says, you know, I agree to be sent stuff. And then from then on, you'll get masses of stuff. So if you take the time when you're registering to always make sure you leave that box unticked, then it will prevent, you know, your mailbox from being clogged up with too much rubbish. And part of that is the problem is being able to go through and find all the decent emails that you actually will earn you money or will, you know, are things that you really do need to do. So it's just like the junk mail in the letterbox outside. Now the other thing is I say to turn off notifications. So everything that we sign up to, all of these new systems, they all have different degrees of notifications, and by that means if someone has joined up, who's a friend of a friend, or if someone has sent you a message, all those different levels of messaging can be really overwhelming, and they're unnecessary. If you're disciplined and you give yourself some social media time to actually go into the service itself, then you don't really want to duplicate that by having your inbox being clogged up with notifications. So I'm not saying turn off all of them, and some of them may be important, but just be really selective about which ones you receive. The other thing is to be disciplined. So social media can be a time suck, and even I sometimes will realise that if I'm not careful and I haven't watched the clock, I could have wasted half an hour on it, and just because time goes quickly. So you do have to keep a look of the clock, and you do need to say, I'm going to go on there for business, you know, 15 minutes twice a day, or, you know, 3 times a day. You need to decide what's the right level for you to maintain your activity of building your community, and however you're going to use the social media. So the first tool that I use to help me with saving, and this tool saves me such a phenomenal amount of time, And some people think that I work for these people, but I don't. I'm an ambassador for them because I really like their product and I really like the way they modify it to customer requests. It's called Tungle. So this is a web service, and the web address is tungle.me, and you sign up, and when you sign up you can link it to all of your calendars, all of your electronic calendars. So not a paper diary, of course, but any electronic calendar that you have that you've been used to using, like Google Calendar, Yahoo, or Outlook, or even Lotus Notes. You can connect that by downloading a connector once you've signed up, and it will publish then your calendar. And what it does is it gives you can set up a profile page. So my Tungle Me page is tungle.me/Helen Crozier. So if anybody goes to that, they can see my availability and they can set up an appointment with me by clicking on a schedule an appointment with Helen. Then I will get an email and telling me that there's a selection of times that this person wants to meet with me or have a phone call with me. I can publish some of the events as public, so some of the events I don't mind letting people know where I am, or I can keep them private. Now this sort of service in a corporate environment would cost thousands of dollars because it's like equivalent to Microsoft Exchange in a business environment, but it's better than that because it speaks to all of the different calendars. And so if you're working with other people and they sign up, you can actually, when you schedule a meeting with them, it will actually not let you schedule a time with them when they are busy on their calendar, which is really useful. It just saves so much telephone tag or email tag going backwards and forwards, trying to find, when can we meet? I actually have little widgets on my website or links to this page, and I actually will get requests from potential clients wanting to set up times when they've given me their available times, and then I can go and select my best time. And everything seems to be accelerated with the efficiency by using the system. So I really, really like it. It's down here, you've got links to your other areas. So like this is the public profile page, so it's got links to my Twitter, LinkedIn and Facebook down there, and my contact details. Has anyone used or heard of Tungle? No. Now it's a Canadian company, and this is a free version. This will always be free, so I think everybody should be using it. The next sort of, it's not really a tool because this is quite low tech, this one, but it's a new time management technique that I've been using for the last couple of months. Is called the Pomodoro Technique, and it's actually really manual. So